To view or configure the settings of your thermostat or HVAC system, go to your thermostat page. Click Settings from the left side menu. On the HVAC Settings tab, click on Configure and Test to reconfigure your HVAC system. You will be brought to the HVAC Setup Wizard to make changes to the system. You can reselect if you have a new HVAC type and if the number of heating and cooling stages has changed. You can mouse over the tooltip of each setting to view a simple description of the setting. You can turn on or off the compressor lockout and auxiliary heating function. If turned on, the compressor stages will be turned off when auxiliary heating is activated. You can enable or disable auto season changeover and set its delay and tolerance range. You can set the compressor's minimum turn-off and turn-on time, and also the minimum time before the conventional or auxiliary heating can be turned on or off. You can configure the different upstage timer durations and control span range. Set the high balance point and low balance point if you want to lock out heating depending on the outdoor temperature. Antifreeze and AC overcool functions can also be configured in this page. Next, move on to the Fan Accessory and Free Cooling tab. For fan settings, you can set the residual cooling and heating fan delay to configure the duration that the fan keeps running at the end of a heating or cooling cycle. For accessory settings, you can select one installed accessory that you want to control with the thermostat. This can either be a humidifier, a dehumidifier, or ventilator. Non-related settings will be disabled depending on the accessory you select. Mouse over each setting's tooltips for functional descriptions. You can enable free cooling and select maximum outdoor temperature and humidity. You can also set the minimum difference between set temperature and outdoor temperature for free cooling and the maximum temperature change time. Next, move on to the Display and Other Settings tab. For display settings, you can select the temperature unit to be displayed on the LCD, or check Use General Settings to allow temperature unit to be set via General Settings. You can enable Input Lock to lock the jog dial and side button of the thermostat. You can set the duration the thermostat's LCD is at its maximum brightness when receiving an input, and the LCD brightness for each of the occupancy modes. You can display or hide the hints of each icon on the thermostat's LCD by enabling or disabling icon hints. There are other settings that you can set for your thermostat, such as the maximum allowable heating set point temperature and the minimum allowable cooling set point temperature. You can also set the appropriate offset for your room temperature. You can configure the threshold that you want to receive alerts for low and high temperature, as well as low and high humidity. Finally, you can view and set your device information under the Info and Time Zone tab. You can view information such as your thermostat's MAC address, serial number, firmware version, and others which are read-only and cannot be changed. Here, you can rename your thermostat. If you want to connect your thermostat to a different Wi-Fi network, click on the Configure button, which will take you to the Wi-Fi provisioning wizard. You can also select your location's time zone, or check Use General Settings to use the time zone selected in your account's general settings.